A look behind lab doors, a former director breaking his silence on a troubled COVID testing lab that we've been tracking for years.
That's right. And you may remember our reporting. It gave a voice to brave whistleblowers who exposed serious public health failures at the height of the pandemic, leading to state and federal investigations. In the wake of our reports, the governor's $1.7 billion COVID testing lab was shut down, and there were several state and federal policy changes. Now, as Julie Watts is joining us here in the studio, the state's former lab director, is speaking out.
Yeah, that's right. Adam Rosendorff, who is also the former lab director of Elizabeth Holmes' infamous Theranos lab, published a mini-memoir of sorts on Medium, and in it he further confirms the whistleblower allegations we exposed, and he raises some serious questions about whether the state allowed whistleblower retaliation.
They're jeopardizing people's lives.
Unlicensed lab techs asleep while processing COVID samples, test swabs found in lab restrooms, incidents of contamination, wrong results, and tens of thousands of inconclusive COVID tests.
Good job.
Those were just the first of many shocking revelations from inside California's $1.7 billion state-funded PerkinElmer COVID testing lab at the taxpayer's expense.
Every patient sample deals with somebody's life.
It began with one whistleblower and evolved into more than a dozen who wanted to reveal what they say the state was trying to hide. For over a year, the state denied our repeated interview and records requests or sent us documents with nearly every word redacted.
With any big endeavor like this done.
But Health Secretary Galley did talk to other reporters about our investigation, attempting to discredit the whistleblower.
Some of those very small number were not able to be processed.
We now know inspectors had already confirmed the whistleblower allegations.
I think some of them were wildly overstated.
The governor also denied ongoing problems as federal inspectors cited the lab for practices that put patients in immediate jeopardy, likely to cause serious injury, harm, or death.
I have all the confidence that those issues have been resolved, and some of them were a bit, with respect to overstated. Some were accurate, and we worked to correct them very, very quickly, many months ago. And
we now know 3 days after that press conference, the governor's own state inspector sent this notice with the governor's seal, clarifying the lab was still not in compliance and the evidence of correction was not acceptable. And records reveal the lab would fail to correct those deficiencies for 6 more months, processing millions of COVID tests in the meantime.
That lab should be shut down because they're jeopardizing people's life.
Now Adam Rosendorff, who was a whistleblower himself in the infamous Elizabeth Holmes Theranos case, and who later became the focus of whistleblower complaints at the state lab, is now telling his story on Medium. While he does make some questionable claims, and we did identify some inaccuracies, he echoes the whistleblower complaints ranging from inexperience, errors, and sloppy practices to acknowledging the state's test was not legally validated for accuracy. But maybe most concerning now, post-pandemic, allegations of whistleblower retaliation.
The company is now effectively suing one whistleblower.
The governor's office and Department of Public Health allowed their state contractor, PerkinElmer, to sue the only named whistleblower and threatened to sue others, alleging they violated confidentiality agreements to PerkinElmer's competitive disadvantage. And the lawsuit continued even after inspectors confirmed their findings.
The public deserves to know what's going on in their state lab, and everybody deserves to have correct results.
On LinkedIn, Rosendorff is now comparing the whistleblower retaliation at the state's PerkinElmer lab to that at Elizabeth Holmes' Theranos lab. Except in this case, it appears the state of California allowed it. Nearly 3 years ago, we asked the governor's office and CDPH if they supported the lawsuit against the lab employees who voiced concerns about a risk to public health. The agency said it was reviewing the lawsuit and had no further comments. Yesterday, we asked the governor's office and public health again, and again they declined to answer the questions, instead saying in part, California is proud of the role the COVID-19 testing laboratory served early in the pandemic. Now, Rosendorff did not respond to our request for an interview. PerkinElmer has now changed its name to Revvity. The FDA is in the process of changing its test approval requirements to avoid the types of problems we saw with California's COVID test. Last year, lawmakers did pass new legislation in the wake of this investigation to increase oversight of no-bid state contracts like the one with PerkinElmer. But a bill that would have provided whistleblower protections died in the Assembly.